How to elaborate your outline, Part 2, Case Study. Welcome back. If you're watching this video, it means that in the first part of your outline, you pointed out that you wanted to analyze a specific case, a movie, a book, a newspaper article, etc. In this sense, your paper is a case study. For the second part of your outline, we will have to deepen its analysis. The first step is to offer a little background of the case that you are going to deal with. Let's put an example. Do you remember the topic that we chose in the last video? Yes, it was process automation. Do you also remember that one question involved human waiters and robot waiters? As you can see, the implementation of robot waiters is a specific situation, for we do not have robot waiters in all restaurants. Therefore, we should give a background. In some way, we will try to answer the 5 W's. 1. What happened? 2. Who was involved? 3. Where did it take place? 4. When? 5. Why did that happen? The background to our case can be: restaurants in China have now introduced robot waiters. These machines take your order, deliver your meal, and can say short phrases. Although they are not cheap, they cost around 160,000 pesos, it is expected that in a long-term period, owners will save money in wages. As you can see, in this paragraph, we answer the 5 W's. What happened? There was an implementation of robot waiters. Who was involved? Directly, owners. Indirectly, waiters. Where did it take place? China. When? Recently, in 2014. Why did that happen? Because owners wanted to save money. Now, do a little research and write the background of your case. Bear in mind that if you are analyzing a book or a movie, you should tell us who is the author or director, when it was published or released, and a summary of the plot answering the 5 W's. You may pause this video now. Besides being a case study, your question also poses a situation that can be ethically evaluated, for it can be answered either with a yes or with a no. In the example of robot waiters, we can elaborate a question similar to yours. Is the implementation of robot waiters a fair business practice? As you can see, this question can be solved either with a yes or with a no, and we have to say why yes or why not. We have to gauge the pros and cons of this situation. So, a possible answer might be no, because it leads to unemployment and increases social inequality, and because it overvalues money, paying little attention to persons. As you can notice, we mentioned 2 reasons why the implementation of robot waiters wouldn't be a fair business practice. These reasons are called arguments. So, the first argument is: it leads to unemployment and increases social inequality. The second argument is: it overvalues money, paying little attention to persons. Furthermore, notice that these arguments are centered on the person's integrity. In our example, we certainly dealt with economic factors, but we focused our interest in the person's rights and values. We highlighted how unemployment affects them and underlined the intrinsic value of human beings. Now, pause this video and go to the first part of your outline. Check if you offered between 2 and 3 arguments to support your answer. Furthermore, check if these arguments consider the person's dignity. If you're missing some arguments, elaborate them. If you have more arguments, choose the most important ones and reduce them into 2 or 3. Remember, you may address some political, economic, and or scientific perspectives depending on your topic. Nonetheless, your main interest must be the person and his/her integrity. Thus, you may address issues involving human rights, virtues, and ethical values. Once you've written down your arguments, you may continue watching this video. You may pause this video now. The following step is to draw a chart where you can compare the pros and cons of the case that you are evaluating. On the top, write your question. On the left, write your arguments. In this case, we wrote the arguments against the implementation of robot waiters. Now, on the right, you will have to write the other side arguments. In this example, it will be in favor of robot waiters. Look for arguments opposite to yours, arguments that contradict your ideas. You may do a little research on the internet. Since your paper is a case study, you can broaden your scope. For example, instead of searching pros and cons of robot waiters, we can look for pros and cons of process automation and then focus those perspectives in the case of robot waiters. Please avoid Wikipedia and blogs. Try to read what the specialists have said about your topic. Listen to other people's ideas. You may pause this video now. The next step is to write down the other side arguments. Here, you must be careful. Bear in mind that there should be a counterbalance. This means that it is not any opposite argument that you found on the internet. It must be an argument directly opposite to yours. Let's make it clearer. In our example, our first argument is focused on unemployment and inequality. Thus, our counter-argument should also be focused in these two elements. The pro-argument could be: the implementation of robot waiters does not lead to unemployment or causes social inequality, for human waiters receive a compensation when being fired and they can find another job. The second argument highlights the relation between money and persons. Thus, the pro-argument says that this practice is not only about money, but also about offering a high-quality service to the customer. Please pause this video and elaborate your chart. Once you've finished, you may continue watching this video. Now, it's time to state the ethical relevance of your topic, question, and ultimately of your paper. So, why is your question ethically important? Here's a tip: because it's centered on the person. Go back to your arguments and ask yourself, which virtues, ethical values, and all rights are jeopardized? How is the person's dignity being affected? In this example, we spoke about persons' well-being and work rights. Thus, the ethical relevance can be stated as follows. Despite the attraction that robot waiters have caused among customers, we must analyze the other side of the coin. If owners are expecting to save money in wages, it can be inferred that human waiters will be fired. Therefore, the right to work and to protection against unemployment might be at stake, promoting social inequality due to ambition. Please pause this video and write down the ethical relevance of your question. Once you've finished, you may continue watching this video. The final step is to choose your title. Think about something catchy and original. For example, may I take your order? May I keep my job? If you think it is very general or it doesn't address properly your paper, you may add a subtitle. Let's say, the implementation of robot waiters. Pause this video and think about your title. When you have finished, continue watching this video. So, here's the summary of what you have done. 1. You offered a background of the case, answering the 5 W's. 2. You listed the for and against arguments. 3. You stated the ethical relevance. 4. You chose a title. Now go to the template called Case Study Evaluation of a Situation and fill in your outline. Don't forget to bring 2 printed copies for the next class. In case you need it, at Schoology there is also a sample of an outline on process automation with a case study form.